Okay, before I let you go, we got to go one last direction that is dearest to your heart. And let's transcend sports for a moment and talk about what happened on October 7th of 2023. There was an attack on Israel that pierced your heart, and you have been defending Israel ever since, very, very publicly and vocally. What does all that mean to Michael Rappaport?
Man, it's been a crazy time for Jewish people. It's been a crazy time for the people of Israel, and I think that one thing I could say on behalf of all of us is that no one would have expected 578 days later there would still be 59 hostages in captivity. I did not ever imagine. I never thought. I was ignorant and maybe just not paying attention about the anti-Semitism and the anti-Jewishness and the anti-Zionism. And I've spoken out since October 7th adamantly and vehemently. And, it has changed me. This time has changed me in a way that I don't know how it's changed me, because I go to sleep thinking about the hostages. I wake up thinking about the hostages. I've taken 6 trips to Israel since October 6th, and the talk about the blessing and the opportunity and everything that we discussed as far as this movie and that movie and this show and that show has afforded me to be in a position where I could speak on behalf of some people that could easily be and that easily are forgotten about and pushed away. And it's been a crazy time. But I wouldn't change the way that I've gone about speaking up for my people. I'm a proud Jewish man. I'm a proud Zionist, and I've spoken up on everybody else's behalf my whole life. I never knew that speaking up on my own behalf and my own people's behalf would be so controversial. Mm-hmm. I never would have guessed that. That being said, I have nothing to apologize for, and I regret nothing. And I want 59 hostages, 5 of whom are American. One who's from Long Island, where my mother is from. One who is from New Jersey, which is the tri-state area. Eden Alexander, who is believed to be alive. I want them freed, and I want Israel to be left alone. We have been harassed, attacked, and scrutinized for 77 years, and it hasn't worked. I think for the next 77 years, it would behoove the world to leave Israel alone and let Israel be a sovereign state.
Has this cost you, in your opinion, any acting jobs? Your stance on this?
It has, Skip. It has cost me, and my wife, because there's been like I do comedy, I'm doing shows. There's been some shows that have been protested and boycotted and all that stuff, and that's fine. There's more shows, especially comedy. There's plenty of places to do shows, and that was disappointing and frustrating. But as far as acting, it has. I don't want to go into the details, but it has specifically, and it hurts my heart because I know that I've done nothing wrong. And in this day and age of canceling and cancel culture, you can't. I have nothing to be ashamed of. I have nothing. I have nothing to apologize for. Um, um, but it has. But I do believe that this time and this sort of heat on the very few people that have spoken up on behalf of the hostages and spoken up on behalf of the sovereignty of Israel and behalf of the victims of October 7th and the victims of the relentless attacks on 7 fronts since October 7th. I know that I go to sleep knowing that I have absolutely no regrets. I'll continue to act, and this heat on me will dim down, and as much the one or two jobs that I've lost, I've gained so much more. I mean, I can't even articulate and put into words what I've gained through this time and through this experience more than any job could ever give me. So
Hmm.
that I mean sincerely.
So one or two directors have said to you or said to your agent, too hot to handle. Is that?
It wasn't directors. It was executives.
Hmm.
It was an executive, and it was really, really fucking disappointing, Skip. Really, 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 really disappointing. Because they didn't say it, but they said it without saying it. Because you can't say, "Yo, we're not going to hire him because of ba 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 ba," but you sort of say it in a way that's like in a very sort of in a traditional Hollywood way.
Okay. Have
It
any
sucks.
have any Jewish executives turned on you?
I don't. I'm not exactly sure. The. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. I love my business. I love what I do. It's the only thing that I know how to do. My insurance is Screen Actors Guild. Um, I like I said, my heart is in the best place. I've spoken out on behalf of every other cause that's
Yep,
been in the mainstream. I've done it on your show,
you have.
um, and there's no way that I wouldn't speak out on behalf of the hostages, and the attack of October 7th and the continual attacks up until 2 days ago, 3 days ago, when Ben Gurion Airport was attacked.
Hmm.
And it's just one thing after another thing after, the disappointment of the the anti-Jewishness in my city, New York, on the college campuses, in these supposed, schools of higher learning, the
Yeah.
Harvards, the Columbias, the Penn, because if they were talking about any other people, any other group of people, any other race of people, any other sex of people, if they were talking about people that were short, tall, people that were dog lovers, cat lovers, people with freckles, it would be unacceptable, and it would be shut down immediately. It wouldn't go on this long. It wouldn't be tolerated. There wouldn't be context. There wouldn't be any Senate hearings. There wouldn't be anything. So it's been sort of like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Like, it's been like, are you serious? This person or that person, or this coach that I thought I respected, or this former president that I thought I respected, or this, journalist. I'm like, what are you talking about here? Like, what are you talking about here? It wouldn't be accepted for about anybody else. If it was people with glasses or people with blue eyes, green eyes, it wouldn't be accepted.
Have any actors not had your back that have disappointed you or alienated you?
Not to my face. Not to my face. No. But I know what's going on, and I know how people feel, and I'm very aware of what it means to be outspoken on behalf of Jewish people and Israel in 2025. I didn't realize it as much on October 8th, 2023, but I am extremely aware of it now. I'm in tune with it. Um, but no, they haven't done it directly, and they won't do it directly. And like I said, I will not take steps backwards. I have nothing to apologize for. I have no regrets. And the friendships that I've lost, and I've lost friendships in show business and in real life. I've gained so much more, and I mean that sincerely. I've gained so much more from the experiences and the trips and the people that I met and the new friends that I've gained since October 7th.
How much more does your Jewish faith now mean to you than it did pre October 7th?
My Jewish faith, my pride, um, my knowledge of what it means to be a Jewish man, what it means to be a Zionist, what it means to be a proud Zionist has changed. Man, it's changed radically. I've always had it in me, and I've always been prideful. But this ride and this journey has changed me, and like I said, in ways that TBD, to be determined. But
Okay.
but as much sadness and as much heartbreak and as much tears have been shed on my side, um, what I've gone through and the jobs that I lost, most importantly, is minuscule compared to
Mm.
the hostages that are still in captivity, their
Yep.
families, their friends, the IDF soldiers who have risked it all, who have been injured, the women that I've met who've lost their husbands, and just the trauma of being attacked relentlessly for 578 days, and the fame that I have has gotten me to be able to see that up close and personal. And if I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So I'm sure you've gotten death threats on social media because that happens a lot to everybody. But have you gotten any other more credible death threats outside of social media that have concerned you?
I feel like if you're not getting death threats in the DMs, you're not doing something right. Um, Strangely enough, I feel it, I've spoken out about other things that have, I haven't. I feel very safe. I take precautions where I go, and I'm bigger in real life than sometimes people notice. I travel all over the country. I'm in airports. I have security when I need it. But and I'm not a tough guy, and I'm not looking for any trouble. I've been fortunate that I haven't had any incidents, and I don't want any incidents.
Hmm. So, how do you think you'll wind up going back into full time acting? Do you think about not going back into acting after all
Nah,
this has happened?
I'm too young to not. I love acting. It gives me so much joy. I love it. It's important that I do it. It's important that I continue to the next thing that I do, the next job that I do as an actor will probably be the most important, because it will show that I'm not going anywhere, and somebody doing what I've done. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't. I haven't done anything wrong. So the next acting thing that I do will probably be one of the more meaningful things, because of what I'm sorry. What it'll mean. It won't just mean something to me. I know it'll mean something to
Yeah,
other people.
it will. Yeah, it will. Well, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people out there who are with you on this.
Yeah,
I hope
there
you hear
are.
from them.
I do hear from. I don't feel alone at all, and I do hear from a lot of people, and I do hear from I mean, I have an incredible wife, and I have an incredible family, and I do hear from a lot of people. There's been disappointments. It's an emotional time. It's an emotional time for us, and it's an emotional time for the people of Israel, and it's an emotional time for Jews in all over the world. And that's okay. It's part of our history. But we've heard it all, and we've seen it all. We've been through it all. And the one thing that I remind myself of is that we are going nowhere. The Jews are going nowhere, and Israel's going nowhere. Period.